Man, what's up? In the box.
Yes, in the
We're
box.
here another Friday. Oh, we got a special show. What's going on, Ron?
Hey, man, doing great, man. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, man. We got Mr. Man,
Yes.
Gerard, Goldsmith from Diamond Life Concerts in the house tonight. We had him on the Music Industry Makeover, but we're gonna dive in and we're gonna talk about. We just gonna rip it all the way off, man. And there he is, man, with that red solo cup again.
Always mini cup. Right.
And we're gonna be right back.
Yes.
All right.
Fundamentals and building blocks. Turn to advice when I'm in that spot. When I got questions, and that's a lot. Perfect time to hear from Rico in the box.
All right.
All right, y'all.
We got Gerard Goldsmith. Salutations, Demetrius, man. Glad to have you, bro. And if you can, make sure you share the show out. If you're just not coming in, we got some great information for you. And it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna edify you. Also, man, we're gonna get some housekeeping things out of the way. If you can, I want you to go out, man, pick up Big Phil's Quarantine Dreams. Man, this EP is dope. It's dope. You got to check it out, man. Big Phil. That's the homie. And also, man, go pick up GCS. God's chosen soldier.
Yo, that's some straight ministry heat right there.
Straight ministry heat, man. He rocks with Ken Jones, and it's all the way dope, man. So go pick that up as well. And don't forget, Sunday, man, we got Just Life coming on at 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget about that as well, man. And we appreciate you, man, for tuning in. And we got here. Hey, what's going on, Sister Lorraine? Glad to have you. So we back for another Friday. I was telling Gerard, I'm kind of glad, man, COVID happened, so he ain't busy. So that means we can kind of pull him 2 days in a row. Boy, this is going to be Jesus coming back next week.
I know, right?
This is what it is right now.
So, man, we want to jump right in. I want you, in your own words, in no hold bar, you be you, man, 100%. Who you are. And what's up, Danny? Glad to have you, bro. Glad to show. If you can, man, share the show out as well.
Yes. Hey, Mary.
What's up, Sister Mary? What was it? At what age or at what time in your life? What transpired to say? Because you've been doing this country thing for decades. Like you ain't just started doing this, right? Yeah. And for you to stick with it this long, because a lot of times when you start a business, it's hard, man. Them first 5 years, right? And then, but what was it? What happened in your life, or what transpired that caused you to say, "This is what I want to do, and I'm about to go all the way with it. I'm about to get serious. I'm gonna put my money into it. I'm gonna learn." What was it, man? What happened?
Bills. Nah, but it was honestly, it was passion. I love seeing people come together. I love seeing people smile. I love seeing people have a good time. And to me, it was an outlet to pretty much reach out to multiple generations at one time. Because some events you have parents would be with their kids, you might have grandparents, with their kids and their grandkids. So you can be a part of something that can bring 3, maybe 4, 2, generations at one time. And I have a friend of mine that's a millionaire. He told me one time, if you ever find something that you enjoy doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
So is it work? Yes, but I enjoy doing it. So, like I say, so the people really keep you doing it.
So when you started doing these concerts, what was your first real show that kind of encouraged you to say you had chosen? Did you have any failures in the beginning, and what were your failures, and then what was the show that encouraged you to let you know that you was actually on the right track?
It was a lot of failures in the beginning, but I think the one show that kind of opened my eyes to make me feel like, hey, it might be a future in this, had to be in 1993, October 1993, hip hop show, Tupac, Ice Cube, MC Light, Yo Yo. All four of them was on the show. And that show right there kind of was the game changer for me. Ice Cube came, he had his wife with him, he had his family, with him, which is like really ironic for a rapper to be traveling with his wife and his family coming from the West Coast. Tupac was a little different. Tupac was, yeah. I mean, dude was off the chain, but he was smart. He was talented. Very bright young man. I think we also did a show with him like maybe a month later in Columbia, South Carolina, as well too. But that show to me was kind of like a game changer because it wasn't like they wasn't like artists to me. It was like friends. It was like when we all met, it was like we all, knew each other. It was all cool. But I actually met Tupac, maybe that was October, March of that same year in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the KNW on Coliseum Drive, which is not there anymore. He was with Jada Pinkett. And wow. Jada was that's how far this goes back. Jada was actually dating Grant Hill at the time. And I remember her and Park, they went to the school in Baltimore together. And she was I think at the School of the Arts, at Winston-Salem, North Carolina School of the Arts at the time. She was talking about this guy, he gonna be this, that, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever, blah, blah. And he had a little cassette tape. You remember the Walkman?
Oh yeah.
The Walkman. He played this tape or whatever, and it was okay, but it was all right. But not knowing that a couple of months later, this guy was gonna be, Poetic Justice and headline the show. So, but like I said, it was just more so like a friendship, type thing. And a lot of these artists, they actually look to you for advice because they want to know what the fans and what the people want, So yeah, they look to you for advice.
So when you decided when that show happened, or right before that, did you have a plan as to for his equipment? Did you lease your equipment when you first started? Did you save your money to buy your own boards and run your sound? How did you start? How did you put that together to be able to have a type of concert like that, to have a venue? Because a lot of those guys, man, those concerts, man, be off the chain. But how did you secure the sound systems?
That right there was under the leadership of Tony Williams, who I was telling you about yesterday.
Right. Okay.
Tony, I was young. Man, like I said, I was a teenager. I was young. I ain't have no sense. I was just, wild. I ain't gonna say wild, but I didn't have no discipline of whatever. So it benefited me to have men that was older than me, that could guide me and lead me, along. But for us, like sound and lighting at the time, we was dealing with Cutting and Carry Sound out of Greensboro, North Carolina. So those companies would be subcontracted because a lot of times when you're doing these shows, you ain't got time to be running no sound lights, all that type of stuff. So you pretty much subcontracting that stuff. But for us, doing stage management and stuff like that, you overseeing a lot of stuff. I mean, you overseeing for us production, you overseeing for us security. You got to handle for us transportation, catering. It's a lot of stuff that goes in. So you have to pretty much surround yourself with the right people. And then when you surround yourself with the right people in this business, you got to have a business mind. You can't have a groupie mind. When I say groupie mind,
No. I need you to dig deeper into having a groupie mind. So explain that and tell me why that's not a great idea to have a groupie mind. Talk about that.
Because a groupie mind, you're gonna mess up the whole vibe, whole reputation if you have a artist or somebody that's coming to do, because we gotta remember they're coming to do business. So if they're doing business with you, you can't be in the mode, well, can I get your autograph? Or you mind if I, take a picture? Or, you mind if I come chill in your dressing room, with you, or anything like that. That was never my sense. I was never starstruck with
Amen.
people like that at all. I would get more excited to see a Rico Gibson in a Waffle House. I'd be more excited to see you than I would, somebody like that, because at the end of the day, it's all about that check. I mean, that's what the real thing is. But you have to have a business mindset, because that's what you're there for. Now, I do understand that some people, you want to have photos of certain legendary people, somebody like a James Brown. I couldn't be around James Brown and not take advantage of being with somebody, that's legendary like that, because, when they're at that stage of their career, you want to do that. But you got to keep a level head. You can't be the groupie type, because they don't like that. That's a turnoff. And, even though you might be part of the promotion or whatever, that's a complete, turnoff. Nobody's trying to do that.
Now, if you're just not joining us, we have Gerard Goldsmith from Diamond Life Concerts LLC on. If you just came in, share the show out. He's coming in, he's spending a little time with us, man. He's actually he's set a platform for a lot of notable people. And before I jump back in to the journey to this point, I want you, Gerard, I want you to rattle off some names of concerts that you set up for people from when you started to now. Let them have it.
Yes.
Because I said this because I saw it in the promo. It was too many to name, so I'm just gonna let you name.
And you're gonna put me on the spot to name those names. Wow. We can go from like say Tupac, Biggie, Redman, Method Man, Jay-Z, Kanye, Beyonce, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, Charlie Wilson, Cameo, wow, Frankie Beverly and Mays, Mint Condition. Man, you're gonna make me keep going. We can go, and gospel, we could go everybody for us in gospel, from Fred Hammond, everybody, man. You're gonna make me you just gonna have to go to Google and see all the names, because it goes decades. So with all these decades, it's a lot of changes, that went on. I remember showing my son a contract of certain artists and the price that they got paid back then. Back in the 90s, you could book somebody for, 50,000, 75,000. Now, you need, 300, 400, $500,000. It's totally different ball game. Now you got to really have some. It takes money, of course, to do it, but it also takes expertise as well to do it too. But like I say, now, back then you didn't have companies like Live Nation, AEG, so you didn't have all this, competition and stuff going on with these big corporations. But like I say, it's been a blessing for us to keep going this strong, for all these decades, and we still got all these big companies and stuff out there.
So what was the very first lesson, man, that was a hard lesson for you to learn that grew you up in the business? I know you have many, and I know you got a billion stories, and we're going to tap through some, but what was the first hard business lesson that you learned?
The first hard one was how to say no. And you have to learn how to say no, not just no to people. You got to say no to yourself as well too, because sometimes you can be in a situation where it feels good, but conditions can change. So you don't want to be too comfortable. So I always tell people, if you feel uncomfortable, sometimes that's the direction that you're supposed to go when you feel uncomfortable. Because when you feel comfortable and relax, nah, you're gonna be, you're not gonna go after it like you're supposed to do. And reason I said because I've been in situations where I thought something was a sure thing.
Right.
And with that sure thing, this business is a gamble. And I took a roll of them dice, and it came up with a 6 instead of a 7. And when that happens, does it mean the game is over? Or do you change the game, or did you look at the rules? Or what? Because the thing is, like you said, a lot of people don't get past the 5 years, whatever. Some people don't get past the first year.
Right.
So it's all about how you discipline yourself. But when you got the right people and the right team, around you, it helps out a lot because you're not gonna always get it right. I strive for perfection, but the bottom line is, I ain't gonna always get it right. But like I said last night, you never regret what you can learn from. So everything, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, I mean, it's a lesson. It's got to be a lesson learned.
So when you actually started, and yeah, we got a little echo there somewhere. Okay, I think it's going now. So, but when you started with your team, and when you first got started doing your concerts, now did you employ people that you knew, like your little partners, neighborhood partners, family? Who was your original team, and do any of those original people that you started with still with you now?
Still got the original team.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now,
still got the original team. Yeah.
Now the reason why I brought that up, because that's abnormal, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this business, especially for decades.
True.
Because people get money hungry. You get fame, relationship, power. True. How did you keep your same original team when it comes to getting a hold of that fame, and then to have you having the relationships, but they not having relationships because you're the cat man, it's the plug. You're the plug. How did ever jealousy ever break out, or y'all never had that problem? How did you tackle that? How did you maintain
it? It was like, for one, we became a family.
Okay.
But everybody that was assembled with the team, of course, the final approval went through Tony. Tony was the main one for, I might bring somebody to the table, but just because I bring you to the table, you got to be passed through his test or whatever. But everybody who's a part is also a business owner themselves. So it's like when we all became together for us Diamond Life, you probably had about 8 or 9 different businesses all working together in one. So it was like a big family. But because of the things that we were doing, if you was doing sound and lights for this show, somebody else might have had a show that needs somebody to do sound and lights. So you got contracted out here. If you was doing transportation for this show, this person might need transportation. Now you done got contracted out, over here. So that's how that just kept going. And it pretty much just branched out. And honestly, everybody for us that's around me has been pretty much successful. I mean, if we go out to eat, I don't care how many people it is, everybody sitting at the table can pay for everybody's food.
Right.
There got to be no separate checks. It could be Rico got it this time, right? He got this. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't want to be around needy people.
Right.
I want to be around people, everybody that wants something.
Right.
Because you're right, everybody that wants something, everybody trying to get, something. I mean, we can literally spend 10 to 15 minutes trying to fight over who's gonna pay for the trip. Right. That's the way it is. Versus you going out to eat and everybody depending on you.
Right.
Everybody gonna get full and eat off of you. And all they doing with you making all of these, deposits and stuff, but you can't withdraw from nobody. And so I used to tell a friend of mine, I had an athlete friend of mine, and we was all together with, some of us, we all grew up together. I ain't gonna say which athletes, but we was in a room. It's probably about 10 or 11 of us, and we was at his house, big old house or whatever. And we was talking, and I told, 2 of the guys, that you in a position where you have somebody that's loyal enough to you that if you needed $25,000 or $30,000 to start a business, this person is in position to give you that money so that you can start that business.
Right.
But I had to explain to this person that the reason he can't give you that $25,000 or $30,000 to start that business is because you out of order. And I took a sign and put an out of order sign on his chest. So if you go to a drink machine and you thirsty,
right,
are you gonna put money in that drink machine that says out of order?
No, because you're gonna lose your money.
Because you're not gonna get nothing in return.
Correct.
So that's what I was explaining to him. You got to get yourself in order and in position because, like I said, when you come to the table, I mean, hey, everybody got to be, everybody got to, have to want something. No needers.
So, but I want to. That's very, very hard to have a group of people. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's making money. How did you guys have a meeting every week? Did you guys have money classes? Because when you have that many people working together, there's always, man, the norm, like I say, is abnormal. You always have someone that's going to overspend, that's going to mess up their money. They're going to drink a little too much, smoke a little too much. How did you maintain that? Because, man, I want to talk about this, man, because the problem that we're seeing right now with independence and the music business is designed for you to work with the team to be successful. And a lot of people don't know how to click up with people. We get a little selfish. So I want to dig into your mind and how you guys made that work and how everybody kept their stuff together so they didn't bring everybody else down to be able to everybody to be sitting at that table eating to be able to pay for the check. How did you do that? Well, like what, in details, like, did you guys take money classes? Or did you guys did some people get into money trouble and y'all had to sit down and talk? Did you have to box with each other? Like, what was it that kept everybody together and nobody messed up the money and y'all kept getting money decades?
It was one word: discipline. And that's something that is hard to teach, is discipline. Because when you teach discipline, it can be a hard course. When you look at at Michael Jordan, the documentary he had, and when he spoke about how his teammates felt about him, it left him in tears. And he was in tears because of the way his teammates described him. And he didn't want to feel like that type of person. I understand that because it's been times where I went to the hotel in tears of how I talked and spoke to somebody. But it was because of that drive. And like I said, you have to have discipline. And I said some things and I said some words. I came off on some people real hard because if it's not done right, guess who gets that heat?
You gotta get
me. Yeah. So if I'm gonna get that heat, you definitely gonna get a burn. On you. Right. There's a fire light that's lit in me, the whole time. It don't take but much to flick that fire, but it takes discipline. And when it discipline is not hard when the result is success. So when you running a tight ship and that ship is still staying afloat and ain't nobody sinking and ain't nobody jumping overboard, yeah. That's just the way it goes. But people know, like I said, my people that's around me know how I am. I'm a Gemini, just had a birthday or whatever.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I ain't the same. I'm not the same Gerard like I'm talking on this camera than I would be if I was in a Coliseum or at a venue. I'm not the nicest person in the world when it comes. I'm a very nice and gentle dude, but when it comes to that part of me, it's all about that discipline.
So I wanna tap into, because I know setting up platforms, getting, putting countries together, putting tours together, you develop a lot of friendships with a lot of famous people over time. And I know for one, I have a lot of friends that are famous, but the one common denominator that's very important is it's all about you doing everything on your own, and you're not monetizing your friendship.
Right.
Talk about how important it is not to monetize your friendship for your friends that are famous or always asking for favors. Talk about how important it is to maintain those relationships, and what the one dynamic is standing on your own and not being a needy friend.
For me, I don't really I mean, my circle is so small, it's a dot. So it's a tight circle anyway. And when you talk about fuzz friends, I mean that's a good question, because like when I look, because you got me thinking about something. When I think about the people that's around me, nobody needs anything. Nobody they got everything. Now, if they did need something, they know that where they can come, and they know, hey, I got you or whatever. But nobody around me in my circle needs anything, and I think it's because, like I said, it goes back to that discipline. And like I said, it used to be where I would take a check, just blow the whole check on something, but then you have to learn how to you pay yourself a salary. That's another thing you want to do in this bit. You want to pay yourself a salary. I say pay yourself a salary because you don't want to take everything that you got out of this and splurge it all, and then not save yourself something for another day. And if you think about it, you do that over a couple of years, over a couple of decades, yeah, you should have something saved up in a pot or a rainy day. Now these artists, like I said, a lot of them haven't been performing since March. You think they're not ready to get back out there, do something other than doing just these free lives and doing stuff just to stay relevant amongst the fans and stuff like that? Yeah, they want to get back on the stage. We want to get back on the stage. I mean, there's a lot of people now that's not eating, because of this. Ain't no stimulus package being passed, for the entertainment industry. We ain't got no new movies. I think now's the best time for anybody to put out some new music, because that's all we got. I mean, you're not competing with a new movie every Friday right now, because there are none. So, now's the best time to put out, some music and get yourself out there and, and promote yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned something about relevancy. So how often should an artist continue to stay relevant in the public eye? Because fame don't last that long. Correct.
I think it depends on the genre of music. I mean, I think for us, like hip hop, it don't even matter. You can just come and go every day, all day. They still gonna be there. If it's gospel music, it's spurts. You gonna go 3-4 months here, and you're gonna need to fall back a little bit, for another season. You go back out, again. I mean, R&B is on life support.
Yeah,
I mean,
anymore. Yeah,
R&B is on life support, and it's been that way for a while. One of the biggest things that's hurting R&B is pop music. Right. I mean, once pop music came along, that really changed a lot of stuff. But R&B, we getting so far away from the rhythm and blues. Right. With R&B, that is it's just, I don't even think some of these young people even realize the importance of rhythm and blues and where it came from. I don't think they really know. Maybe some even don't even care. Because everybody now is just sample. I mean, it's hard. You very seldom hear original music, anymore. And I remember Prince said, I think back in 2001, that one day we're gonna get to the point where the sampler is gonna have to sample the sample. And I didn't understand what we're saying, but now that's what we see. I mean, people put 5 or 6 different samples on one song. I mean, but it's very it's very tough. I mean, I can't think of not one original song that's on the radio. All of them sound, I mean, only original songs you're gonna get is somebody email it to you or send you an MP3 file.
I think when LMA came out with Boot Up, that was like a nostalgic moment with that sound. Yeah. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
And Ricky made a couple points, man. And Rick,
see,
man,
what did you say?
He says R&B has been replaced by trap soul, and I want to send a shout out to Kenneth Carpenter, Pastor Carpenter. I preached that for his church, man, on Wednesday and Thursday night, last night, man. Glad to have you, man, as well. And don't forget to share the show out, man. If you're just not joining us, we have Gerard Goldsmith with us, and he's coming in, spending time with us, man, sharing with us on what it's like to be in his shoes, man, his world. Doing concerts, doing tours. So we're going to jump back in again. So, and Rick said couple great things. R&B has been replaced by trap soul. Okay. And, you're taking, and from trap soul, and then also that original music is frowned upon.
It is.
And let's talk about that. And why, and from your perspective, why is original music frowned upon?
They're not familiar with it.
Okay.
They're not familiar with the original. They're familiar with the copy.
Right.
I mean, the copy, for some reason, just keeps going over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it's like once you copy something so many times, the original starts to fade.
Right.
But you have to be very careful about samples. Now, take for instance, and I know I'll probably get in trouble for saying this from the Beehive, but when Beyonce did Before I Let Go, everybody went crazy. Oh, they just went crazy. Social media went into an uproar. And I tried to tell somebody that song won't even last past the song. It just wasn't gonna work. And everybody was like, it's gonna be the Frankie Beverly Mays, that song where it's been a hit, 35, almost 37 years, maybe. And it still got the same effect as it did way back when. I mean, it's still the closeout song for the parties. You get your red Solo cup, you hear that boom, 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 boom. And then you take a song away and actually Beyonce has the right voice to do a cover for that song. But they did just way too many samples. They had the cameo sample on there as well as, other was just too much. The song was too busy. Then it go into the line dance stuff. And that's like taking a hymn out the hymn book. You can't go in the Baptist church and take something that's out of hymn book and make it your own. It don't work like that. You better sing every note that's on there. And when they get the verse 1, 2, the 3, and the 4, you better do them notes exactly like they're supposed to be. When Michael Jackson made the movie, This Is It. And you remember the band? That was a bad band that they had on that tour. That was going to be an awesome tour. Oh, and the keyboard player did this little riff. And Michael stopped. He said, He said, I want you to play it like I wrote it. And he was like, huh? He said, play it like I wrote it. He said, because when the people hear it, that's what they're going to respond to. So play it like I wrote it. So, keep it simple. I mean, a lot of people just doing too much. The trap soul, it's like they try to take a different version of R&B, and trap soul has already been out for a long time. Jodeci did that way back when. They was already doing like the trap soul stuff. That was with Uptown.
Correct.
Yeah, they had that going on, anyway. But I'm just not a big fan, of it, but it is what I don't like anything with trap, anything. I don't even like trap music, but I know that's like one of the biggest things that's selling. I think in Atlanta, Gucci Man and T.I., they be saying, for us, I started trap music. This would say he started trap music. No, you didn't. Them people right here started trap music.
So Ricky actually said a couple of things, man. I want to hear that. He said, "There's no love for those who actually go through the creative process of making quality music." Right. And then the second thing he said, I'm one of those producers who appreciate the art of music, the art of music production. It's an art, but nowadays a lost art. And I think I think more people now are more so, man, interested in the money. And, making money is great, as well.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's about having an identity.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you, man, as far as when it comes, man, to riders, artists, have a lot of different riders, man, they sit in. Have you ever had issues with riders? And if what tips can you give an artist when they're trying to put their riders together for the setup for their concert setup, or what would you suggest?
I mean, when you putting a rider together, the rider is pretty much based on need. So you're gonna pretty much put everything that you need, but a lot of stuff that people put on the riders they don't need. And when you
talk about that for a second. Talk about that for a second, so we kind of tap into
that. They don't need. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like you might have an R&B group that has a rider, and they want alcohol on the rider. They want 3 bottles of Hennessy, 2 bottles of gin. We don't do alcohol. Period. I mean, if you getting a check, you go buy your own alcohol or whatever. You got people that put condoms on there. Why am I supplying you condoms for a concert? I mean,
they put that on the rider, bro. They put that on the rider, bro.
Condoms, on the rider. They want you to buy a condom. I mean, what you gonna do? We got a show to do. And you want condoms on there? There's I remember one time.
Hold on, wait a minute. Time out, though.
You heard me correctly. Yeah, you heard me correctly.
A rider is a technical document, bro. It's for your concert performance, man. You cats are actually putting condoms on a rider, brother?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you, it's some crazy stuff on there. I remember one artist, I'm not gonna say this person's name, they wanted 2 bags of Skittles. And they wanted 2 bags of Skittles, but no green Skittles. No green.
Whoa.
Yeah, follow me on this. Two bags of Skittles, but no green Skittles.
So you got to pick all the doggone green Skittles out.
So what's crazy about it, because you have experienced road managers and tour managers that will put silly stuff like that in there because all they want to know is if you read what's on the rider. Because this is the thing, I already knew this person wasn't gonna eat no Skittles because they don't eat pork.
Right.
And Skittles have gelatin, so I knew they wasn't gonna eat no Skittles. Eat the Skittles, but they put that stuff in the rider. They just want to see if you reading what's on there. That's a little trick, man. You gotta know these little games and little tricks and stuff that they play.
Wow.
Demetrius said, first off, the green Skittles are the best.
They are, I agree. I agree, Demetrius. They are. But yeah, it's you got stuff like that. Then you got the the bougie ones that it's got to have the first class tickets and
gospel.
Yeah. They got to have the first class, So, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with first class. I fly first class, sometime, but you know what? We get there at the same time as people as coach.
Same time.
At the same time. But
you just got a curtain up there.
Yeah, but like I said,
and a little different drink. Mm-hmm.
When you do stuff like that, it affects your money. I mean, it really does. I mean, because now like I said, it's affecting that. They still talking about them Skittles.
They still them Skittles, man. Started talking them Skittles, man. So what are some if you have as being a concert promoter, and you've been doing this for decades, give me 3 obstacles that you always face that that makes your job difficult, that you have to kind of be strategic, but you always face. It's something that's repetitive in your business. What are 3 obstacles as a promoter that you always face that you have to be creative to get around those obstacles or to get through them? And what's up, Omega? Glad to have you, Omega Spark. Love you, brother.
Man, of course, one thing is going to be sales. because you definitely got to drive sales, because that's going to be the key for us to making everything work that you put time and heart in, for us, your promotion, your marketing, everything. And then the way things are now with social media, you have to be real strategic about how you promote and you market. You don't want to start too early, and you don't want to start too late. In promotions and marketing, it's two folds. You're going to either aggravate or you're going to motivate.
Come on.
One or two. So you have to be real strategic about how you do it for us driving your sales. Another thing that you have to, obstacle that you have to do is first for production, because we're in a world of social media. A lot of people taking pictures, they're going live, they're doing videos and things like that. So you want to make sure your presentation, is like up to par. Because one thing I always tell people, you come to one of our show, you finna have the best pictures on social media when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, whatever, because that set, it has to look right. It can't be raggedy and, things here, there, everywhere. And the other third thing that you have to worry about, that's a real big key to me, is safety, because you want to have the people, they got to be safe or whatever, because if anything jump off or any type of situation happen, that's going to come back on you. And the bad news travel a whole lot faster than fuzz what the good news is. So safety is a real big key, in this whole thing as well too.
Wow. Yeah, go ahead.
So what was your turning point? Because at some point when you're doing these shows, you kind of take off and your money change.
Okay.
The amount of money that you charge change, right? It's the same way like Jordans. When Jordans first created Jordans, he didn't have Jordan that were $350, $400.
Yeah.
Right? What is it that changed in your life as a concert promoter that gave you or activated you or gave you the authority to be able to command the amount of money that you charge? And what happened to create that catalyst, that change for you?
I mean, the quality and the results. I mean, for one, you was getting a quality product, and the other thing was the results, and the results was consistent. So when you have consistent results, that's good, and people, trying to invest in you and invest in what you do. Yeah, you don't have no problem, doing what you got to do. If I want BMW and I want to go 7 or 5 series or whatever I want to go to, you're going because of that quality, their reputation, and everything. So, I mean, my reputation, the name is good. So you want to keep your name good because you represent a company that's got a good representation as well too. So I don't go certain places I used to go anymore. I watch where I go now. I watch who I be around, now. I can't go certain places and hang with such and such. I can't go and do this or whatever. Yeah, I drink from a solo cup, but no, you're not gonna see me, doing certain things that you wouldn't see me, doing in pub. Whatever I do in my house, that's my business and what I do. But I have to be careful about the content and stuff that, I put out there. I have a personal page and I have a business page. My business page is all business. My personal page, you're gonna be on a roller coaster because I can be free. And Ron know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna be free, I'm gonna be me, whatever. You take it or leave it. But when it comes to business, it's just straight, business. So I think anybody, if you're on social media and you have a business, don't post. The way you post on your personal page shouldn't be how you post on your business page. Your business page should be about business, period. And I think a lot of people lose customers and artists, they lose other people because you mix in personal and business, and you can't do that. If somebody can love your business but they don't like your personality,
right?
So You know, and this is nothing. Don't go in business if people don't like you.
Right.
If people don't like you, you don't need to be in business, because you're not going to attract customers. Why? Because they don't like you. I mean, period. Don't do it. I mean, it's not going to work for you. But you have to be yourself. You know, be yourself. You know, regardless, because there's an audience for you. You know, no matter what you do, there's an audience for you. But yeah, you have to separate the two. And I think a lot of times, even for us, churches, you know, they want pastors to be one way, but when you're in church, they got to be another way. Is that fair to the pastor? No, because you know we're in 2020 now.
Right.
These millennials want the real. They don't want that sugar
that fake stuff.
They don't want that no more.
Right.
Because they got all this stuff now, man. I'm telling you, they already inboxing and talking about you and stuff anyway, just waiting for you to mess up and post your business and put you on blast. But you have to be in a position where you can be free and be yourself, and people will appreciate that a whole lot more.
So now, this is a very, very crucial question that I want to ask you. And I've been thinking about how I wanted to ask it, just so I can make sure it makes sense to you and make sure I even say it the right way. So when you take an artist that's been getting $500 a show, you know, and they're worth more, but maybe out of fear or just not, you know, being confident or just not having that support, but they go from, you know, asking for $500 a show, now they want to do get $2,500 a show. When you started doing your concerts and you getting a small amount of money and you jumped, what was that concert that you actually started getting more money and your money changed when you got that big jump? How did you make that happen? And what was your mindset when you booked that concert? You know, if it makes sense, what concert, if you can remember, I know it's been a minute, but what concert was it that changed that your money changed, that you negotiated and you got more than what you usually was getting and your money never changed back again?
Well, this is the thing. The money changes because the market changed. Mm-hmm. So once the market changed, that's why the money changes the way it do. So for a person, we're gonna say 5,000. Ain't nobody getting 500. We're just gonna throw 5,000. So if you're getting 5,000 and you got a number one hit, I mean, I'm saying we gotta give really 5,000 ain't a realistic number. We just gonna stay right there for right now. But if you're getting 5,000 and now you have a number one record and it's been at the charts for 8 to 10 weeks, that 5,000 is probably done escalated now to about 35, 40. It's done multiplied that much. And one show that I'm gonna say that was a game changer to me, 1997. It was the Fugees, OutKast, Busta Rhymes, and a Tribe Called Quest.
Oh man,
that's a crazy concert.
Already. The Fugees was already, you know, hot.
Wow.
OutKast was starting to
take off.
Go there. Right. Tribe was,
that's my group.
You know, they was our thing. Busta, just, you know, Busta gonna give you hit after hit. And I remember the day of that show, it might have been 7,500 tickets that were sold in advance, which was good. But the walk up on the day of that show was probably over 12,000, about 12,500 on the day of the show. I ain't never seen so many people in line to buy tickets. I mean, that line was going all the way down, you know, that High Point Road. I ain't never seen that many people coming, and, you know, to an event. But that right there was a game changer, and it was the first sellout. I think the first sellout in the Coliseum, and I forgot the total number, 19 something or whatever that was in there. It was packed. And I think that record we had, I think NSYNC came 2 months later and did 21. That's what they say. I don't know. They say they did a little over 21, but I don't believe it. But we gonna we're gonna say they did, but NSYNC was hot back then too.
Yeah.
But that one right there was a game changer, and that changed everything. And that also was around the time when we, kind of stopped doing shows on campus, and we had to take it to the Coliseum because it just grew. I think Biggie was the last show that we did in Corbett Sports Center, and that show almost didn't happen or whatever. But we made a way on that one. So
again, guys, whatever you said, campus about North Carolina A&T coming on.
Talk about that one.
G-Hope, yes. Hey, it is what it is.
I mean, A&T we done did so many people at A&T it's just ridiculous. I mean, I can't even begin to name some of the names there. I mean, we did stuff outside of A&T, but like I said, that to me, A&T is just like a family affair. I mean, to me, I love my Aggies. I mean, we used to do a lot for the Winston State. I mean, Fayetteville, we do North Carolina Central. We've done Elizabeth City. I mean, it's a lot of, different schools. I don't even want to try to name all of them because I'm going to forget somebody.
So I just want to go back. I just want to go back and just to kind of clarify something that I heard you say. Okay. Artists, when you are trying to negotiate a price for somebody to bring you in, you just cannot raise your price just because you got to pay your rent that month.
No,
right? Something needs to happen in the market that you have a justification. Either you have a hit record, you own a hit record.
Oh yeah.
You have to have a justification for charging what you're charging. You just can't charge because you need money in your card payment.
Yeah, but see, that's all part of negotiating. And then people have to realize just because an agent comes back with such and such fee, it still has to make sense. So, if it makes sense, if it don't make sense, it won't make sense. See, SENSE and CENTS. So, I mean, it just depends on what's happening. And then you have some, they get desperate. And they'll call you and say, I'll take what you get. I mean, it's been some time. Yeah, you have some tell you, I'll take what you give me. You have some to say, just put me on because they know the people going to be there. Just put me on. We'll come for free. Or just pay for our travel. We'll be there. You have some of those. It don't happen often, but like I said, you have some that'll come on there and rock with you, and don't charge nothing. I remember one year we did Kendrick Lamar. And J. Cole DJ hit me up, said they was in town. They wanted to come to the show. Is it okay if we come? I'm like, yeah. Like, man, like, really? Yeah, this is J. Cole. Yeah, y'all, come and do what you do. Long story short, J. Cole ends up coming. Kendrick Lamar's on stage performing. Did not know J. Cole was there. Once he found out J. Cole was there, of course, he wanted him to come out. And he wanted to do a song with him, and the song that he wanted to do hadn't been released yet. So the DJ had to download it as he was talking or whatever. And he came out, and J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, that was like a real big moment in hip hop. Rocked the stage together. Hey, J. Cole died. He just wanted to be on there and rock. Stuff like that don't happen all the time. That ain't gonna happen free. But when you have somebody that's passionate like that and love what they do and love the music, because it's some that probably would have been backstage trying to negotiate some money, see how much cash they can get, to make an appearance or do something like that. But you have some people that love their craft, and the most people who love their craft like that are people who's probably been the most successful at it. And J. Cole, he's probably, when you look at people like J. Cole he could sell more tickets than Jay-Z now. I mean, because he's that dude. And I feel like when you a leader are supposed to produce other leaders. So when I look at Jay-Z and what he did with J. Cole, that's how it's supposed to be. When I look at Lil Wayne and you look at what he did with Drake and look at what he did with Nicki, Drake and Nicki would sell more tickets than Lil Wayne. Whereas years ago, Wayne would have to be the closer. Now he would have to be the opening act for them because they, they bigger acts now. but that's the way it's supposed. Leaders are supposed to produce other leaders, and that's pretty much how we do for us in our organization. Even for us with Diamond Life, I mean, it's produce other leaders where other people go out, they do their other thing. I mean, iron sharpens iron.
Right.
So Danny Ray had a question. He said, "Were there or are there any venues that are always a challenge to put on a successful event?"
Small ones, the small events,
And
small
talk about
venues.
and just talk about a little bit of why it's challenging.
And the reason why small venues are
Code or,
huh?
I was like, is it fire code or what's the challenge?
No, small venues are going to be harder because now you're going to put that pressure on your pricing and your sales. Versus if you got a larger venue where you can make a very competitive type of price and offer, so if you bringing in a certain artist that's maybe 100,000, 150,000, I mean, yeah, you charging maybe 125, $135 a ticket, and that can be expensive to some people. I mean, not everybody, but some people it can be. But even when you do events in smaller venues, you're gonna have your high-end tickets. High-end tickets are for those real fans. Those real fans are just gonna buy that ticket no matter what or whatever. And then you got that mid-range ticket for those that I ain't sure if I'm gonna go or not, but I want to go, but I just want to make sure I at least got a good seat. And then you got that low-end ticket because you got to have those that's the ones that don't want to, they want to go, but I don't want to pay that much to go. But I want to be in the house. They don't really care what the seating is. But now in this era, is difficult because we have a lot of ticket scalpers. So a lot of times you see shows that go on sale at 10 a.m., then by 10:15 is already sold out. And people wondering, what's going on. But anytime you see those Citibank Visa as the logo, that's a dead giveaway. Those tickets finna be gone and scalp real bad. But these third-party ticket places, they're not going nowhere. I mean, sadly, they're here to stay. I don't like them at all, but people out here gonna get their money. If it's a high-end show and they know it's gonna sell, I mean, it's like Yeezys. They retail for $220. But you're gonna spend $400-500 to get them because the resale is gonna go out there and get them and get their money. Yeah, jack them up. That's the way it goes with the tickets. I remember Justin Bieber did a concert and they did what's called a blind ticket. And basically with the blind ticket, you pretty much paid for your ticket with your credit or debit card, and you didn't get no paper ticket. It was just on your phone. So they just took your phone and scanned your phone, or whatever. So, I mean, that's something I think I like it, but I don't think a lot of people gonna go that route though.
Go
ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
Mary wants to know, do you mentor anybody looking to go into the promotions business?
Yes, I do, but hold on. The problem with mentoring people, it's got to be somebody that wants to learn. That's the first thing you got to do is want to learn, and then it's got to be somebody that want to put the work in. I mean, you got to remember that I've been doing it for decades, but I've had somebody come in on one show, and you think you're supposed to make or get what I'm getting. I mean, really, it don't work like that at all. I've had promos that I've done with the radio station where people got to win a chance for us to be with me as far as like an intern and stuff like that. Things like that. Because I love to teach people, but like I said, you have to be able to be teachable. Then, like I said, you can't have that groupie mentality. And some of them, swear it down. I'm not gonna do this and do that. But then when you see this person and they right there, that whole thing just changed. But I haven't, and that's just, I have to be careful about doing that because of who's around me, and I'm like right up and close and personal, with certain people. So I can't have 3 and 4 people, around me at a time. So I'm real careful about doing it. But yeah, I do. Yeah, she said microwave mentality. I agree. They definitely have a microwave mentality, and it's a crock pot business. It's a crock pot, and the crock pot take a while to get hot, but it stay hot a long time. So I mean, yeah, if you do it the right way, yeah, it'll work.
So, man, as we get ready to wrap up here, man, I want to tell you thank you, man, for coming to the show. But before we let you go, we always play this game.
Oh man, you're gonna love this game, bro.
Called 10.
10, okay.
Now I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna make 10 statements, either or. You got to say what first come to your mind. There's no right or no wrong answer.
Okay.
It's just your answer.
All right.
And you can't sit there and think about it. You got to answer. You got to put yourself. You got to put the answer out there. The first thing pop in your head, you got to let it rip.
You sure you want to do that with me?
Yeah, I'm sure I want to let you do it.
All right.
There's no right or wrong answer. You just be Gerard. Goldsmith.
Right, let's do it.
Ice Cube or John Singleton?
Ice Cube.
Power or Empire?
You said Power Empire?
The Power of the TV show or Empire?
Oh man, Power. That's easy.
Nike or Adidas?
Adidas.
All in the name of love, or love don't need no name?
Love don't need no name.
120 million with 5 years to live, or 75,000 with 20 years to live?
75,000 with 20 years. And go ahead. I know somebody like, what?
5,000 a week. Yeah.
A college education or trade school?
Trade school.
Malcolm X or Martin Luther King?
Malcolm X.
Xbox One or PS4?
Xbox.
Grand Theft Auto or NBA 2K20?
2K.
Fried chicken or pork chop?
Oh. Both on fried. Both on fried. Hey, both of them got Irish season salt. Both of them got crunchy skin.
Hey, good man.
With chicken and pork chop. You talk about black people, man. Rick is on the sides.
Rick, the only one I've been talking about some PS4. Nobody want to pay that funky PS4, dog. There you go.
All day.
Both had Daddy talking about both of them. Both of them. That was my answer too, boy. All right, both of them.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Xbox team whenever it hit.
So I want to say to you, man, I definitely we appreciate you, man, for coming on the show. You dropped a lot of nuggets, you dropped a lot of jewels, man, it's priceless. And what I love, man, is I love you guys, man, that have a lot of knowledge. You are the plug. A lot of people, man, benefit from you as well. But being humble and being down to earth, man, that's probably one of the greatest attributes. Bro.
So let's change that then. Let's change. You said I was the plug. I don't say that. I tell people I'm the outlet.
Okay, everybody plug into you. Hey.
Everybody trying to plug. Hey, I'm just saying.
Plug, you said, hey.
It's draining me. I feel like a power strip.
Man. Well, man, Mary says it's a great show, man. We appreciate you, man, for coming on. No problem, and I want you, man, to hold the line. We're going to come back here in a second, man. Okay. Put y'all backstage just for a sec. And listen, don't forget, tune in Sunday for Just Life. We're going to have a great show for you. And I want to say to you, man, if you want to be a sponsor for it, in the box, you want to be a sponsor for Just Life, man, reach out to me and let me know. And I thank you guys for supporting the show. And I hope you guys got something tonight. And we had a comment here before I go. Great show. Hey, yes, sir, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Dan. Appreciate you, bro. Danny says, great show, man. Appreciate you, man. Glad to have you. And I want to say to you, man, God bless and good night.